Om Namo Venkatesaya. Shuklam Baradaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanideye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha Yasya Smarana Matrena Janma Samsara Bandhanat Vimuchyate Namastasmai Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. Okay, the next Nama we have got to see is, we saw up to Manu yesterday, Tvashta. Samhara Samaya Sarvabhuta Tanu Karanata Tvashta. That means at the time of Pralaya, Bhagavan destroys or annihilates all the things that he has created in this universe, and therefore he is called as Tvashta. Other meaning is Tvashta also means Deeptaha. Deepta means one is got very bright, Prakasham. As we saw earlier also, the Bhagavan is the person, source of light for everything, including the sun, moon and all these nakshatra ganas, all the light bodies, everything derive their source of light from Bhagavan himself, and therefore is called as Tvashta. Other meaning is Evam Nirmitam Nama Rupa Vyakaranena Suranaradi Vaichitrya Vibhaktam Vyanakti. That means one who, after creating this universe, he is the person who is also creating different types of, the various types of species. Like, the animals, the birds, all those things. Similarly, the human beings, the gods, asuras, and all those things. Is the person who is then dividing these various creatures into different classes of creatures, and therefore is called as Tvashta. That division of work which he does is called as Tvashta. Next Tiranama is Stavishtaha. Atishayena Stulaha. That means he's very big. Stula means he's very big. So that means he's so fat. That is what is the meaning of Stula service, Stavishtaha. That means Bhagavan in his Virata Swarupam, in fact, is mentioned in Bhagavata and Narayanam also, Bhagavan has in this, the entire, in fact, we saw that in this, if you look at the Dhyana Slokam also, the second Slokam is, the Dhyana Slokam is, Bhuv Padav Yasya Nabhir Vedas. If you see the meaning of that, the entire the entire world is, the 14 lokas are transcending into, Bhagavan is transcending that. So various forms, for example, the Purusha Suktam says, Chacho, Suryo, Ajayate, that means his eyes are the sun and the moon. Then his, the various years or these various directions as such. So that means the entire 14 lokas represent the body of the Bhagavan, and therefore he is so big, and therefore he is called as Stavishtaha. Staviraha. Staviraha means Vriddhaha. Vriddha means very old, because he is the oldest person. He was there. Puranaha Stavira. That means he was the person who is the oldest person in this universe. There is nobody who was there when nobody was there. He was there. So that means he was the oldest person, and therefore he is called as Staviraha. Dhruvaha. Dhruva means one is very firm or very firm. Stiraha. That means he doesn't undergo any change. He doesn't undergo any modifications, anything, and therefore he is called as Dhruva. For example, the pole star we see, where pole star is always on the northern direction. It doesn't undergo any change. So by using that pole star only, people can identify the various directions, because it is fixed. So Bhagavan is also doesn't undergo any changes. Ananta Parinamadi Avikurvan Taya Swarupat Aprachaya. That means even if the world is changing several parts, he is Swarupam, that is his Ananda Swarupam, Swachidananda Swarupam doesn't undergo a change and is firmly rooted in that, and therefore is called as Dhruvaha. Let's look at the next sloka. Agrahya Shashvata Krishno Lohitaksha Pratardhanaha Prabhutasrika Kubdhama Pavitram Mangalam Param. Agrahya Shashvataha Krishnaha Lohitaksha Pratardhanaha Prabhutaha Trikakubdhama Pavitram Mangalam Param. So first is Agrahyaha. Karmendriyehi na grihyata iti agrahya. That means one who cannot be, obtained through these various sense organs. He is not like an object which can be, which is available for these various, this various indras to be obtained, and therefore he is called as Agrahyaha. That means he is the inner controller. Therefore, very difficult for us to, get hold of this various. Get hold of Bhagavan through his various indriyas, and therefore is called as Agrahyaha. The other meaning, of course, then you can say, we are all seeing Bhagavan in this, this Archavatara Rupam, where we are able to grasp him through our eyes. We are able to hear whatever being sounds that is being the mantras and all those things. They are all out of compassion for out of the humanity. Bhagavan is manifested as these various Archavataras. The Bhagavan Swarupam is not that. He has only condensed himself or being brought, he has condescended himself to the level of this Archavatara, so that we will all be able to see him. Then we can all do all these various prayers, bhaktis and all those things. That is the reason why he is. But his real form is not that. So that's why he is called as Agrahya. He cannot be. In fact, in one of the stories in this Kenopanishad, the Devas once gained victory over the Asuras. they were thinking that they gained victory out of them, out of their own valorousness, and therefore they are so proud. At that time, the Brahman appeared before them in the form of an Yaksha. So the various Indra wanted to know who this new person was. We have never seen him in the Swargalokam, so he asked Agni to find out who this person is. So Agni goes there and then says, "Who are you?" So then this Brahman, this Yaksha says, "Who are you?" He asked the question again. He said, "I am Agni. I can burn off everything that is possible. So everything is given to me. I will burn everything completely," he said. Then he threw a blade of grass and then asked him to burn this blade of grass. So he tried his best. He could not burn that. So he went back and then told Indra that he asked me something, but I can't do that. So then similarly, then he sent to Vayu. So the Vayu goes there, and then Vayu, Vayu also says that I am Vayu, the air. I can blow off everything that is coming in my way. So then he threw this blade of grass and asked this, "You just lift this blade of grass." He tried his best. He couldn't do that. So then finally, when Indra himself came to see him, then he disappeared and then manifested himself as Parvati Parameshwara, the form of on this this Rishabha Vahanam. So that is one. That means even these various gods themselves cannot Grakya. That means they cannot get hold of this Bhagavan as such, and therefore Bhagavan is beyond all the sense organs, and therefore is called as Agrakya. Sakalyena Grakyo na bhavati iti tak. That means one who cannot be completely known. Maybe you can know him partially, but he cannot be completely known through our sense organs or through our intellect or through our mind, and therefore is called as Agrakya. Next nama is Shashvataha. Shashvat sarveshu kaleshu bhavati iti shashvata. That means one who is present in all periods of time. He was there in the past, he is currently present, and is going to be present in the future, and therefore is called as Shashvataha. Shashvataha Sadaika Rupa. That means Sada Eka Rupa. That means he is in the Sri Vaikuntham, as I told you earlier. He remained as an Yuva of 16-year-old, not undergoing any changes at all, and therefore he is called as Shashvataha. Next nama is Krishnaha. Krishna means, one meaning of Krishna is who is blackish in color. So Krishna, in his Krishna avatar, Bhagavan is black in color, and therefore is called as Krishna. That's one meaning of Krishna. Other meaning is Krish. Dhatu refers to absolute existence. Absolute existence means we all have relative existence. That means there was a time when I was not there, I am presently there, and then after some time there will be a time when I won't be there. So that is relative existence. Whereas Bhagavan is absolute existence. He is present in all periods of time. He was present in the past, he is present in the, he is currently present and going to be present in the future. So that means that is the Krish. That means absolute existence is determined by the root word Krish. Na means Anandam, bliss. So one is of the nature of Ananda Swarupam, is a nature of absolute existence. That is the meaning of Sat, and Sat is the meaning of absolute existence, and Ananta is the Ananda Swarupam. So those things are reflected by the name Krish and Na. Other meaning of Krish refers to the Bhumi. That's why this agriculture is called as Krishi. Krishi means arising, something to do with the earth as such. Krish means Bhumi. Na means Ananda. One who gave happiness to the Bhuma Devi is called as Krishna. This can be talked of in two avatars. Bhagavan's avatara in Varaha Avatara, when Hiranyaksha placed this earth on this inside the ocean, Bhagavan incarnated as Varaha Murti and then lifted this Bhuma Devi from that ocean and then gave her happiness and then protected her, and therefore he is called as Krishna. That is one meaning of Krishna. Other meaning of even the sole purpose of Krishna Avatara was because the Bhuma Devi went to Brahmaji and told him that I am not able to bear the sins of all these wicked people who are in this universe, and therefore please help me out. And that time they both Brahma Devi along with Brahma Deva along with the Bhuma Devi goes to this Ksheerasagar and then prays to Bhagavan, and then Bhagavan communicates the message through the heart of Brahma, saying that I am going to incarnate as Krishna, as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, and relieve all the wicked people. And finally, through this Kurukshetra war, he removed all these wicked people and therefore gave happiness to Bhuma Devi, and therefore he is called as Krishna. Other meaning of Krishna means one who is able to Akarshana Sak, that means one who is able to attract all the people together towards him, and therefore he is called as Krishna. Other meaning is Evam Vida Leela Rasena Nitanta Nivartaiti. That means by all these various leelas, that means various playful activities, Bhagavan is able to bring happiness to all his devotees, and also he is able to enjoy himself, and therefore he is called as Krishna. Let's see the other namas tomorrow. Om Namo Venkateshaya.